I ran away from a little old woman. I ran away from a little old man, and a pig, and a dog, and the cow that says moo. And I can run away from you too. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man, indeed, getting us to run away from all the rules, enticing us into wanting more and more, getting us to do more and more for our children. How do we do this enticing symbol of overindulgence to stop influencing us? One way to avoid this rascal of excess is by being able to identify the 3 ways of overindulgence. Hi, I'm Becky Hagen-Jokela, one of the instructors and creators of this course, and I am here with Dr. David Bredehoff, the lead researcher on Overindulgence Project. Hi, Dr. Bredehoff. Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us what you learned from your research on overindulgence?
Thanks, Becky. When we began our research, I thought I knew all about overindulgence. It was done by giving children too many things. I thought it was about stuff. Instead, what we heard from adults who were overindulged as children were things like, when I was growing up, my parents did things for me that I could or should do for myself. My parents did not expect me to do chores. I was allowed to have any clothes I wanted. My parents gave me lots of toys. My parents gave me too much freedom. I was surprised to learn in that first piece of research, and later confirmed in further studies, that there are really 3 kinds of childhood overindulgence. Now when I talk about this, or when I meet people and I tell them what I do, they say, oh yeah, I know what that is. It's spoiling children. And I say, that's probably part of it, but there's more to it than that. Really, you can overindulge children in 3 different ways. The first way, the way people recognize the most easily, we call too much. It's about giving children too many things, activities, toys, sports, camps, screen time, etc. An example of this would be, this weekend your daughter is in T-ball. Your son is involved in Scouts, and your youngest daughter has clarinet lessons, all at the same time. You never have any quality time for yourself because you're a taxi service carting your kids to all of their events. Sometimes with overindulgence, someone may experience receiving too much in one area and not enough in another. For example, one research participant said, they gave me stuff, but I wanted them. As parents, giving our children things and opportunities might feel good, but the research tells us that those who were given too much as children can experience some risks as adults. They may have trouble knowing how much is enough, or still think they are the center of the universe, or expect immediate gratification. Too much may especially lead to disrespect of things and other people. The second way to overindulge we call overnurture. It's about doing things for kids that they should be doing for themselves. Parents who overnurture their children are often called helicopter parents. They help too much and interfere with their children's ability to problem solve and to take responsibility. For example, your 4-year-old should be able to tie her own shoes, but doesn't know how because you do it all of the time for her. Besides, it is faster and better that way. Or your son, a senior in high school, has not begun to look for a job, let alone apply. So you fill out all of the applications and send them off for him. In our first study on overindulgence, we asked 720 adults to fill out an extensive 24-page survey. The type of overindulgence that stood out was overnurture. Study participants said they liked having their parents doing things for them when they were children, but when they became adults, they were really angry with their parents because they didn't learn many life skills they had not learned as children and they needed as adults. The unfortunate outcomes of being overnurtured as a child that show up in adults are confusing wants and needs, a high sense of entitlement, and trained helplessness, not knowing how to do things most people know. We call the third way of overindulgence soft structure. It's about not setting or enforcing rules or having low expectations. It's also about not asking your children to do chores around the house and not expecting them to learn everyday life skills. For example, you are a single mom with a limited income. You feel guilty that you can't afford to buy your son many of the things he wants, so you don't enforce the rules and don't insist that he help you with household tasks. The risks of soft structure can lead to the following traits in adulthood: irresponsibility, uneven competencies, and lacks boundaries.
Thanks, Dr. Bredehoff. As I was listening to you, I was wondering, can a parent overindulge their children in more than one way?
Yes, according to the research, an adult can overindulge their children in one, two, or even all three ways at the same time. Listen to the story of a Goodhart parent. Mother Goodhart is always worried about her 10-year-old daughter who has severe asthma. Mom hovers and won't allow her daughter to pick out her own clothes and is always quizzing her about things like what she wants to eat for breakfast or whether she has brushed her teeth. Mom also won't let her daughter take the bus to school, even though she wants to take the bus with her friends. However, when Mom hovers, she doesn't provide enough structure. For example, Mom doesn't set rules about screen time, and so is very frustrated because her daughter is always on her smartphone. She brings it to the dinner table and even keeps it nearby during swimming lessons.
Thanks, Dave. It sounds like the first part of the story, Mother Goodhart is doing things for her 10-year-old daughter that she should be doing for herself. So that would be overnurture. The no rules around screen time, well, that is soft structure.
Remember, all parents overindulge their children from time to time, but too much overindulgence is a problem. Still, you can change the way you do things as long as you take things one at a time.